You've built a life that most people dream of. So why does it feel like something is missing? Hi, my name is Katerina Satori, and for the last 10 years, I've been supporting high achievers to not only go beyond what they thought was possible for them, but to create a true satisfaction, true harmony within and without. Before we go forward, make sure you hit subscribe to this channel. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. These were the words by a mentor of mine who was helping high achievers to find their way back after they lost themselves in mega success. My own experience with Success Trap was really about, accomplishing things that I thought was just extraordinary. Coming to United States as an immigrant from Russia was only $3 to my name, and starting my life here with whatever job was available for me, beginning with housekeeping, cleaning hotel rooms, dirty hotel rooms, and being grateful for the opportunity to start low and to really show up for that opportunity and prove to myself what I was capable of. You see, for me, for many high achievers, the more challenging circumstances, the more resilient and innovative and resourceful I would become. So developing myself through this process of achieving my goals and working really hard towards them, the success trap for me personally was when I started feeling this sense of emptiness. I reached a point in my life where I was financially stable. I could make good money. I knew how to make good money. I had a good place to live. I could take myself to any vacation that I wanted, right? I pretty much, in my mid-20s, early 30s, I had everything that I thought I wanted, and I worked hard for it. I earned it, right? But something was missing. And for me personally, at that stage of my life, what was missing was connection to my true soul purpose. Even as a child, I knew there was something really important for me to do this lifetime. There was a sense of destiny for me to find and to step into it and embody. And my soul would not rest until I would find my true path. So the trap of success that I was experiencing was what I would describe the golden cage experience, where you have a really well-paid job that pays your bills, your expenses, that gives you a very cushy lifestyle. But your soul is not there. And you haven't created another reality for yourself yet, right? So you're just realizing that you are in the golden cage. You're realizing that your soul is not thriving in the work that you do right now, and you're wanting new reality. But how do you make that transition? How do you make that leap? Because it takes a lot of courage and everything feels like at stakes. Well, for me personally, I had a real challenge identifying what is my soul purpose. And when people learn this about me, being a mentor for high achievers and being a spiritual guide, and I teach different curriculums all about stepping not only into your purpose, but into your divine soul mission. So when they find out that I did not know what it was for me, not just for a year, but for 10 years, people are shocked. So I was on this search, right? It was not just something, it's nice to have one day, nice to know your purpose. For me, it was a cry of my soul. And no matter how much money I would earn at my really well-paid job, I knew my soul would never be satisfied until I found that one thing that I was born to do, one thing that I was born to create, or not just one thing, but one path, that was true path. So if you're listening to me share my story and you recognize yourself, maybe you outgrew the job, the career, the profession, the business partnership that you are currently in, and your soul is yearning for something different. Your soul is yearning to be free. Your soul is yearning to be creatively fulfilled. Your soul is yearning for deep peace that never leaves. Your soul is yearning for that joy that does not dependent on any of your wins, right? The joy that you can tap into every single day. So if your soul is yearning for that, there is a path, there is a way. There is a way for you to experience all of it. Deep professional satisfaction and incredible success in your career, because when you do what you are destined to do, what you do when you're born to do, you can't help but to do it better and better and better and better until you reach this level of mastery. And mastery is breathtaking, it's magnetic, it's extraordinary. Have you ever seen a beautiful ballerina or a musician, right? People who take their craft to the level of world-class mastery. Why is it so intoxicating to watch them perform and channel their art? Because we're witnessing mastery. So when you find your soul calling, you have so much more patience with developing your talents because you're doing something that you love. So that's the number one key to finding the fulfillment in your life beyond professional success, beyond wealth and riches and being recognized and being an accomplished person. All of that feels good, but it doesn't take you to that sustainable satisfaction where you know you could die tomorrow and you have lived a great life. You have left your mark, right? So this is what I am discovering and I have been discovering. And then, if you have a really well-paying career that you're good at, and maybe you simply got disconnected from seeing a meaning in that, that's another way that you can tap into a deeper fulfillment and a deeper connection to it. I'll give you an example. One of my clients is a well-established lawyer who has an incredible law firm and has helped thousands of people with the cases. But when he came to me for support, because he was looking for a mentor to help him grow spiritually, to help him grow on the inner planes, he was in the place of doubt whether he wanted to continue his path as an attorney. And he was deeply invested in the life and the business that he built. He had a business partner and over 100 employees and a business building. So, the life has been set in a particular direction. So in that case, what he really was looking for is for a fresh perspective, to see his path in a new way, to find a new connection of his soul to what he was doing. And deep inside, he was also a mystic, the person who is looking for transcendental experiences, who is asking big existential questions. That's my client. And when I listened to him, I asked him why he began his career. He teared up and he said, I chose this field because I have an opportunity to be of service to somebody who may not be able to stand up for themselves and fight for their rights. And when I saw those tears, I knew what was really important to him is to be of service. And whatever path he chooses, if he is connected to feeling of being of service, he will feel satisfied, he will feel fulfilled. So the next thing, I offered him an upgrade and I say, from now on, don't see your office as your office. Begin to see your office as a temple, as a spiritual temple, where you go to be of service. Come from that place of next level devotion. Everything you do is an offering to the divine. Everything you do is an expression of your dedication to your divine potential. And that perspective shift transformed how he saw himself, his business, his office, his employees, absolutely everything. So you see, a lot of times we feel trapped by the life that we've built. And it's a very difficult process to go through, where you put 10, 20 years of your life climbing a mountain that was promising you to find that incredible sense of satisfaction and happiness. And once you reach the mountain, that peak of your success, the summit, you feel empty. Like, this is it? this is what I dedicated the last 20 years of my life. And a lot of high achievers, when they experience that moment, they crash and they spiral and they begin to feel more and more and more low. And some spiral into depression or melancholy, or start, leaning into addictive behaviors and losing control of themselves. So I want you to be ready, because a lot of times, we want to find success in life. We want to reach our goals. We want to create even most incredible experiences, right, that we can with our gifts and talents and experience and resources. But the most important thing to remember, why success can become a trap, is when you lose perspective. And also, success can become a trap when you come out of balance. It's really challenging to keep a balance when you have a big company, when you have a big business, or even if a small business with a few employees. Even if you are the solopreneur, you are the one captain of your main ship, but you have a family and you have friends and you have children to raise and you have body to take care of, right? And there's so many things to attend to. So success trap can also feel like feeling burdened by the life that you've built. And that can be incredibly disorienting. Like you wake up and you don't want the life that you've built. And deep inside you feel a bit guilty for that. Like, what's wrong with me? I should be grateful. I shouldn't have these feelings. Another example comes to mind is a friend of mine who is an incredibly accomplished photographer. His photographs are as good as National Geographic photographs. He travels to the most rare indigenous tribes on the planet and spends time with them and gets to know their culture and brings back the most exquisite photographs. This is a person who I've seen more amazing places in the world than anybody I know. This is a person who is deeply philosophical, who is well-read, who is very charming, who is very handsome, right? An incredible being, very kind, authentic. But recently he opened up to me and he said, Katerina, I can't put my finger on it. Something is missing. I have everything I thought I ever wanted, but something is missing. And since he is my friend and not my client, I asked for permission to share a few insights with him. I said, thank you for trusting me with that. If you open, I can share with you a couple of insights. And he said, yes. And what I shared with him is, when you feel something is missing, it's your soul wants to connect with you in a deeper way. Your soul wants to reveal your true higher destiny. You see, a lot of times as high achievers, we create our dream lives by putting our mind to it, by leaning on the sheer power of our will, right? And by doing everything we can to get where we want. So when you go through a process of dissatisfaction, something is missing, I invite you to consider it's your soul knocking on your heart. It's your soul is trying to get your attention. It's your soul says, you know what? You spent 20, 30 years of being in constant doing, constant performance, results, outcomes, numbers, right? How about you have this new invitation from your soul to listen deeper, to value the time where you don't have to do anything, where you simply get to enjoy time with yourself, where you get to learn to be in stillness, where you get to learn to embrace a new way to fill up your soul. So this is another sign when you find yourself in a success trap, absolutely feeling lost in the life that used to be your dream. It's because there is always an invitation to go deeper into relationship with yourself, into a relationship with the world, right? There is so much more to uncover for you. And I invite you to consider that the life that you've built, even though it's impressive and you are an accomplished person, I invite you to consider this is just the beginning. The new chapter that is awaiting for you, if you choose to embrace it, is not a chapter of more doing. It's actually learning to be in a different way. It's learning to be a version of yourself that has nothing to prove. It's learning to allow your most spontaneous, playful, authentic self to be available when you are in conversation. Or connection with others. It's a new chapter where a version of yourself that does not protect your heart, but is available for vulnerability and for honesty and for truth and real connection. All of those things are the key to your fulfillment. So yes, you will continue to feel burdened by the life that you've built, by the life that you have built, if you hold on to a version of yourself that you are outgrowing. If you want to hold on to the mask, to the image, consciously, unconsciously, right? If you're trying to play it cool, keep it all together, God forbid to tell somebody that you're struggling inside, people will think you're weak. Let me tell you something, my dear friend. It takes real courage to admit when you are struggling. And it takes real courage to look inside of yourself and say, well, why do I have this feeling? I have accomplished so many incredible things. I've seen the world. I have built a family. I did everything right. Why do I feel off? Because there is so much more for you to discover. There is so much more for you to get to know, to learn about yourself. You know, one of my deepest passion is ancient wisdom teachings. In fact, I am a founder of a modern mystery school. And what I love about diving into the mysteries is because we're diving into ancient philosophy that says the number one principle of self-mastery is know thyself. So when you know thyself, you begin to see the world through these eyes of knowing who you are, what you stand for. What's so beautiful about this journey of transformation and soul growth, that you continue to discover who you're becoming. You're not a static being. You're not a person who you've been even yesterday. So next time people meet you who haven't seen you for a while and they tell you, you have changed, you're so different now, take it as a compliment, because it's a great thing to receive. You have changed. And say, thank you. Yes, I have changed. And I continue to change. I continue to become this new version of me that is available to life, that is curious, that is open, that is humble enough to open yourself to the new things, to new perspectives, to fresh ideas. Another way that I can describe success trap, and it is, let's see what else is coming to me, because I've named some big topics. But I would say sometimes you will outgrow certain friendships and certain relationships that were around you, that used to be in resonance with you. But once you start listening to your soul and start awakening spiritually, you may feel not so fully aligned with the people from your past. And it may be something for you to really become aware that it's okay to let go of the friendships that don't nourish you. It's okay not to be around people who drain you energetically, right? It's okay to not be a part of a surface small talk that does not involve you. When you want to have a life full of meaning, you want to be around people for whom it's the same value. So you want to go to retreats and seminars and seek out mentors and coaches who inspire you, who you can be around, with whom you can really expand your understanding of the world and, of course, understanding of yourself. So if you want a life of deeper meaning and satisfaction and fulfillment, be around the people who live that way, who breathe that, right? For them, it's like that's what they do, that's who they are. So when we talk about midlife crisis, that's actually could be my specialty, because oftentimes people find me when they are standing on crossroads or thresholds. They feel less and less connected to the version of themselves that actually build the success that they have right now. But this new life has completely new set of rules, so to speak. Completely new desires come online. So in the midlife, you become less and less interested in getting more stuff, right? You become less and less interested in getting another car or going to another vacation in Europe or getting another wardrobe upgrade. You become less and less interested in that stuff because you have discovered for yourself how it gives you a temporary high. It just gives you a temporary high. And then in a very short time, you feel empty and restless again. So in the midlife, you begin to ask yourself, well, what gives you a sense of a lasting joy, a lasting satisfaction, a lasting fulfillment? And it's all the things that money can't buy. It's all the things that really don't have a price tag, such as your ability to feel in a new way, your ability to be fully alive and present, your ability to be spontaneous, playful, right? Your ability to be authentic. That's what you begin to crave in midlife. And that's why things of just going after another revenue level it just stops being interesting to you. Maybe you find yourself being drawn to reading spiritual books and studying energy and understanding, all these topics, like maybe secretly practice with crystals when nobody sees, of course. Maybe you're drawn to ancient temples. Maybe you're drawn to different places of mystical power on the planet and you just can't explain it, but you want it. Trust that. It means that you're yearning for depth. You're yearning for deeper experiences. You're learning to connect with what is known as deeper spiritual dimension of life. And your soul is ready to grow. Your soul is ready not only to grow, but to bloom and to expand in a new way. Because you came here to experience living as a liberated soul, as a truly authentic human being. Somebody who is here to unlock your creative potential. There is an artist in you who wants to create for the joy of creation. So many times when I talk to business owners and I reflect to them that their creativity is about to expand. And some of them are really shocked because they never thought of themselves as being creative. So many times in our culture, we think creativity is only painting. It's only creating something with your crafts, right? With your hand, creating some kind of craft with your hand. That's what I was attempting to say. But creativity is this natural energy that is available to any of us, where you create with your ideas, where you take an idea that comes to you and you actually act on it and you innovate and you play with things, right? Play with ideas and you create a book, you create a beautiful artwork, you create clothes. You just begin to yearn to give birth to something simply for the joy of it. This is exactly how I published my book last year. It was such a yearning from my heart to publish a book that is not revenue focused, right? That doesn't have the marketing plan, that doesn't have promotional campaigns. I simply wanted to write about the biggest discovery of my life, meeting the sacred feminine, and how that transformed my life. So a lot of times when you discovering that you want a deeper meaning, a deeper satisfaction, it's these kind of experiences that you're drawn to. It's these kind of discoveries you want to be with your heart in a new way. And there is no fulfillment without healing and awakening of your heart center. And I'm not talking about your emotions. I'm talking about the seat of your soul that holds all the memory of not only this incarnation, but every other lifetime that you have ever had. So if you want a life filled with meaning, and with joy and with unshakable inner peace, the key is to start listening to your soul and to start giving yourself permission to follow your curiosity. If you're curious about deep spiritual philosophic topics, you're curious about learning how to work with energy, how to heal your heart, if you're drawn to a particular mentor that you discovered, take the next step. Go and study deeper. You have dedicated 10, 20, 30 years to your professional success. Now it's time to dedicate exactly the same amount of time to your inner development. isn't it right? And see how your life becomes to feel so much more rich, but not with material wealth. That you know how to create, but rich with joy, rich with meaning, rich with passion, rich with creativity. If you want that, this is the path, this is the journey, this is the direction, how to have life that is filled with things that money cannot buy, that filled with meaning, harmony, satisfaction, love, real connection. This is what I've discovered, not only in my own life, but in the life of many, many people I had a real privilege to work with. This message resonates with you and you're realizing you have been living somebody else's version of success and it's time to do things differently. Then I invite you to take one courageous step and book your one-on-one call with me. I would love to sit down and in a place of sacred confidentiality to explore the possibilities of me supporting you on that journey to go beyond conventional success to true, lasting soul fulfillment. So if you know this is for you, act on this step. Take the next step and book a call that you will see the link underneath this video. To be frank with you, I only take a handful of one-on-one clients a year. So if you see this video and if you feel in your heart this is what you've been guided to, trust that guidance. So please remember to subscribe to this channel, like and share this video with somebody who you know would be so grateful to watch this video. Thanks for joining me and I'll see you very next time.